Starting with GSK, I mean, I said it, they're jumping before they're pushed, right?
It does pretty much feel like that. There's been issues over in China recently. They've previously had fines over in America as well over this, and it's a sort of unregulated area of the drugs market that affects not just GSK but all of those. It's maybe worth pointing out that back in 2011 AstraZeneca did stop paying doctors to attend their conferences, so they kind of took a half step, but GSK very much feel like they've taken the full move here, and this feels pretty much like their sort of Jerry Maguire moment, where it's laudable the actions that they're taking here, but you've got to fear that there's going to be some fiscal pain they're going to have to wear for a while.
Sure.
Until others follow suit.
Yeah, and you talk about others following suit. Now, other companies clearly going to consider similar steps and may not take such a hit in the share price, right?
That's quite likely to be the case here. I think you know, maybe it might prevent them getting further court cases down the road, and might help them certainly in sentiment, but fiscally speaking, sales-wise, etc., it'll hurt them. There's no doubt about that.
And was it China? Was it all about China, this?
Well, maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back, possibly, as far as their internal thinking was concerned. But you kind of touched on it there. It's a self-regulated area of the business, and the drug makers maybe need to make some moves here before moves are put upon them. They've maybe taken a little glance at what's happening to the banking sector and decided, you know, enough's enough here. Maybe we need to do something.
Right, ZEW in Germany, analysts and investor sentiment highest highest in nearly 8 years. You know, we've spoken about the growth story, and albeit the anemic growth story in Europe for a while now. Is this the start of something different?
Maybe not. It coincides with the fact that Angela Merkel has now been sworn in, as it were, and the last piece of paperwork has now been sorted out as far as her second term in power is concerned, and there's a very stable base with which the German economy is working off of. Having said that, though, one glance around Europe, and it doesn't have to be very far over to France, their neighbours, bordering neighbours, and there's still plenty of hurdles to be cleared there. The German economy is looking very strong. It is Angela Merkel being put through today, finally, and that's dragged on a little bit. So maybe that's part of the equation, but I think that there's some bigger issues that are going to affect them out with their own border.
But the growth story and the anemic growth story is going to be the story of next year, is it, for the Eurozone still?
It certainly feels that way. We will receive tapering of some sort next year, no doubt. That will have an effect on the Eurozone. It seems to have affected the equity markets there a little bit more than arguably the US markets when these stories sort of resurface. And you do feel that they really do need that sort of security net beneath them to feel confident to move on.